All right, let's get right into it. For decades, supply chains have basically been firefighters, right? They're amazing at reacting to problems after they've already happened. But what if? What if your supply chain could actually see the future? That's the monumental shift we're exploring today, moving from reacting to predicting, all thanks to SAP S/4HANA.
So let me just ask you this. Is your supply chain running on last week's data? Is it making, educated guesses about what you're going to need tomorrow? If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. This has been the standard way of doing things for years, but in a world that moves in real time, that old model is becoming dangerously outdated. And this visual just nails the difference. Over on the left, you've got the traditional world of SAP ECC. We're talking batch processing, data trapped in different silos, and slow, manual planning. But on the right, that's S/4HANA. Real-time decisions, one single view of everything, and AI-powered planning that can actually predict what's coming. It's not just an upgrade, you guys, it's a completely different philosophy. It turns the supply chain from a cost center into a real strategic weapon.
Which brings us right to the heart of it all, the S/4HANA revolution. This is all about shifting away from a simple system that just records what happened to an intelligent digital core that basically acts as the brain for your entire operation.
So what is this thing, really? Think of SAP S/4HANA supply chain as the central hub for, everything. It's this single platform that pulls together your planning, logistics, manufacturing, the whole shebang. And the two magic phrases here are AI-driven and real-time. What that means, it's not just a database sitting there. It's a learning system that's running on live up-to-the-second information, not stale reports from last Tuesday. And this new core enables a really clear journey of transformation. See, most companies start out here, in the reactive stage, just trying to keep their heads above water. S/4HANA gets them to predictive, where they can actually see disruptions coming. But the ultimate goal? Autonomous. A supply chain that can sense problems and pretty much fix itself. This is how you go from just managing costs to actively driving business growth.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But how does it all actually work under the hood? Let's peel back the layers and look inside this intelligent core to see how all the pieces really fit together.
Now, what's so cool here is how seamless this whole process becomes. It all kicks off with a demand forecast, which feeds directly into a real-time planning engine called MRP Live. That instantly triggers either procurement or production, which then flows into warehouse storage with EWM, then out the door with transportation management, and the whole thing is constantly being watched through live analytics. It's just one continuous, intelligent flow of information and action.
And this incredible flow is all powered by a few key components that work together perfectly. First up, you have Extended Warehouse Management, or EWM. Think of it as the absolute master of everything inside your warehouse, right down to the specific bin an item is sitting in. Then, once the product is ready to go, Transportation Management, TM, takes over to optimize every single shipment. And back on the factory floor, Production Planning, or PP/DS, is handling all the real-time scheduling. The beauty of it is they all talk to each other on that single intelligent core. Okay, now that we've seen the main players, let's zoom in on the real game changer, the planning engine. This is where the magic of S/4HANA really, truly comes to life. We're talking about tools like MRP Live and Predictive MRP, which let you plan for a shortage before it happens, not scramble to fix it after.
So how do these tools build such a powerful defense against all that uncertainty out there? Well, think of it like this. MRP Live gives you a real-time, up-to-the-second picture of what you need. Predictive MRP is kind of like your crystal ball. It lets you run all those what-if scenarios. And demand-driven MRP, that's your safety net. It helps you strategically place inventory buffers to soak up any unexpected shocks. Put them all together, and you've got this multi-layered defense against the unknown. And hey, once the plan is locked in, it's time to move things. It really helps to think about logistics in two parts. EWM is your internal logistics guru. It's managing all the picking, packing, and moving of goods inside your warehouse walls. Then you have TM, your external logistics expert, optimizing truckloads, carrier routes, and freight costs for everything that's on the move outside those walls.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's talk about the kind of impact this technology is having for businesses right now.
So, let's take a look at this case study of a global electronics manufacturer. They were dealing with a super complex network, over 20 warehouses, demand that was all over the place, and just intense pressure to deliver fast. So they implemented S/4HANA to connect their entire operation.
And the results? Honestly, they were staggering. First, by using that real-time planning and optimized logistics, they were able to cut their delivery times by 30%, a full 30%. That is a massive win for customer satisfaction, and it gives them a huge edge over the competition.
But it didn't stop there. Because they could predict demand so much more accurately and only keep the stock they truly needed, they also managed to cut their inventory carrying costs by 20%. That's money that goes straight back to the bottom line. It's a huge deal.
So how do you actually measure this kind of success? Well, it all comes down to these key performance indicators, or KPIs. We're talking about things like OTIF, that's on time, in full, which tells you if you delivered the right product at the right time. Or inventory turnover, which shows you how efficiently you're using your stock. The amazing part is, S/4HANA makes all of these metrics visible in real time.
Look, this isn't just about big companies and big numbers. This shift fundamentally changes the role of the supply chain itself, and it really defines what the supply chain professional of the future is going to look like.
So if you're in this space, this is the part where you lean in. Here's the crucial takeaway for your career. It's time to get fluent in these new planning methods, like DDMRP. You've got to be familiar with EWM and TM, and really understand how things like IoT and analytics platforms feed this whole system. These aren't just niche skills anymore. This is the new baseline for success.
I think this quote from the source material just sums it all up perfectly. It's not just another piece of software. It's the central nervous system of the business. It's sensing changes, processing information, and coordinating an intelligent response across the entire organization. It's powerful stuff.
And all of that leaves us with one final, really powerful question to think about. If you could move beyond just reacting to problems, what could your business predict? A supplier going down? A sudden spike in demand? The possibilities are really what makes this whole transformation so incredibly exciting.